along about the turn of the century. By then, you know, Colt introduced a gun very similar to this, but with a double action trigger mechanism in 1877. And actually had the 1877 and the 1878 model. So double action triggers, people figured out that there was an advantage to it. In 1899, Smith & Wesson introduced the hand ejector military police revolver. By the way, this particular revolver is the most combat tested revolver in history. It's still in production today. Smith & Wesson still sells what we know today as the Model 10. All right, Smith & Wesson hand ejector military police revolver. Literally the backbone of American law enforcement for nearly a century. It's standard by which all service revolvers are judged is this handgun right here. This is a 4-inch barrel, what we call skinny barrel. Smith & Wesson later brought out a heavy barrel, which gives you more balance, a little bit less muzzle flip, and became, quite honestly, from about 1958 when it came on board till the revolvers transitioned out of American law enforcement. The heavy barrel Model 10 was pretty much the standard law enforcement sidearm. Great gun, only had one major drawback. Heavier barrel, easier to recoil control, but the front sight is a long sloping ramp, which means to see the front sight clearly is hard. The old skinny barrel like this has got a front sight that sticks up more, so when the gun comes into view, you pick up the front sight quicker and it's easier to focus on. So while this older style gun maybe wasn't quite up to the standards of the heavy barrel gun from a control standpoint, real important is to see that front sight. You know, the FBI stuck with this gun up until they transitioned over to the Model 13 3-inch round butt. So this was a standard gun, as a matter of fact, bureau gun, bureau holster. We're going to try it. Remember, early on in the revolver era, up until probably post-World War II, the way police officers, people still shot even double-action revolvers, is one-handed, thumb cock, and shot them like they were bullseye shooters. That was the standard system that was used. So even though we had a double action capability, nobody used it. After World War II, we started seeing changes in training. A guy from up in Montana, by the name of Ed McGivern, back in the 30s, started recommending and teaching that you shoot a revolver, a double action revolver, with a straight pull of the trigger to the rear. He was considered somewhat of a wild man for that approach. By after World War II, as things started progressing, we saw more and more change over to the point where double action shooting, firing the revolver with a straight pull of the trigger, became the norm, and less thumb cocking is the case. I believe that if you're a double action revolver guy, except for maybe sighting the gun in or checking loads for accuracy, I don't thumb cock them at all. I do it all double action. Okay, gangs, here we go. 4-inch Smith & Wesson Military Police Hand Ejector, Model 10, old Buckenheimer, Hank Sloan FBI issue holster, 38 special service ammo, 10 yards, strong hand only. Here we go. Watch the reload. Back into the fight. A bit quicker than the single action. All right, gang, let's check it out. Now, mind you, double action revolver, single action. Single action's 10 and change, 11 and change. Strong hand was 10 and change. My time for 6 shots with a double action revolver, one hand, 5.33 seconds. First target, chest hit, head hit. Probably not real good, but I'll take the head hit, no problem. Chest hit, one just over the line. That would add a second to 633. 2 good hits on that target. So, 6.33 strong hand only. Again, compared to, say, the single action revolver, a bit different. So remember, the single action, I'm shooting a 45 Colt with a lot more free recoil than a 38 Special. We're going to try this again. We're shooting with both hands and see how much it affects my performance. With the 1 point I dropped, 633, that was strong hand only. I'm gonna go to both hands this time. Let's see how it goes. Ready, Dave? Go. Time 493, a little faster, 493. Let's check the hits. All right, using both hands, what we'll call modern technique. Nice pairs, every target clean, no points down, 493. Again, you can see double action revolver from a law enforcement or self-defense standard brought quite a bit more to the table as far as the ability to shoot quickly and accurately.